Most people think success starts with money, talent, or luck, but that's the biggest lie ever sold. Real success begins in the mind, long before it shows in your bank account, your body, or your relationships. The truth is, if you can control your thoughts, you can control your life. But if your mind controls you, every goal will slip away like sand through your fingers. We live in an era of distraction, where people chase instant results and call it ambition. They scroll for motivation instead of building daily discipline. They crave quick dopamine instead of lasting mindset growth. But here's the paradox. The stronger your mind becomes, the easier your life gets. Not because challenges disappear, but because you become unshakable. Building a powerful mind isn't about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally trained. It's personal development through inner mastery, learning to stay calm in chaos, focused under pressure, and grateful even when things fall apart. The moment you master this, life bends in your favor. Opportunities find you instead of you chasing them. So if you're tired of starting and stopping, of feeling like you grow one week and collapse the next, this is your turning point. These 10 rules aren't theories, they're tools. They'll reshape your self-improvement habits, strengthen your purpose and gratitude, and help you build a mind so strong that nothing external can break it again. Because when you learn to master your mind, everything else, money, peace, confidence, success, falls naturally into place. This isn't motivation. It's transformation through daily discipline. Ready? Then let's begin the journey to build your powerful mind, one rule at a time. There's a quiet power in the small things we do every single day. Jim Rohn used to say that success isn't built in a single leap. It's built in the footsteps we repeat, even when no one's watching. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't skip it because it's boring. That's daily discipline. The same principle applies to your mind, your habits, and your dreams. Tiny actions compound, quietly building an unshakable foundation for your life. The average person underestimates what a week of consistency can do. Imagine waking up 30 minutes earlier for a month. You'd gain the equivalent of an entire day of extra time. That's how mindset growth begins, through micro-choices that strengthen your inner will. It's not glamorous, but neither is greatness at first. Greatness looks like repetition until results show up. He who learns to master small disciplines today earns freedom tomorrow. Skipping workouts or scrolling aimlessly doesn't ruin you immediately, but over time, it builds rust in your potential. The opposite is also true. Reading 10 pages daily, saving 5% of your income, or saying thank you more often might look small, but they rewire your identity. That's self-improvement habits in motion. People chase motivation like caffeine, but they ignore structure. The truth is, structure creates motivation. When your brain knows what's next, resistance loses its grip. Write down 3 simple non-negotiables each morning. Something for your body, something for your mind, and something for your purpose. That's how you align purpose and gratitude with action. Every day is a blank page, but most people keep rewriting the same story. Success, however, is about editing, not deleting. You rewrite by making slightly better choices. Drink water before coffee. Journal before social media. Compliment someone before complaining. These subtle swaps generate exponential returns over time. If you want to change your future, change your routine. Think of your habits as the architects of your destiny. No one wakes up disciplined. They become disciplined by keeping promises to themselves. And that's where daily discipline comes alive, when you trust your own word more than your excuses. Discipline isn't punishment, it's preparation. Athletes don't train because they're tired. They train to stay ready when it matters. In life, you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. Build systems that reflect who you want to be, not who you've been. That's how personal development feels less like a grind and more like alignment. If you plant seeds of discipline today, you won't need to chase motivation tomorrow. Think of each small act, like reading, exercising, meditating, as watering your inner garden. The harvest won't show up instantly, but it's guaranteed. Nature rewards consistency, not intensity. Here's the paradox. The slower your progress seems, the faster your transformation becomes. Why? Because every repeated act of discipline builds self-respect. That self-respect strengthens your belief. and belief transforms everything. That's the hidden cycle behind mindset growth. One of the simplest ways to practice discipline is by mastering mornings. Wake up before the world demands your attention. Start with silence, gratitude, and one purposeful action. Even making your bed counts. That quiet victory rewires your brain to expect success throughout the day. People say success is luck, but luck favors the prepared. Preparation is nothing but disciplined repetition. Each act of discipline writes a line in the script of your destiny. Over time, you'll realize you didn't get lucky. You simply grew ready. Remember, self-improvement habits aren't about perfection. They're about direction. Missing a day doesn't erase your progress. The key is to start again faster each time you fall. The quicker your recovery, the stronger your character. In the end, discipline makes life simpler, not harder. When your priorities are clear, decisions become effortless. You stop negotiating with laziness and start leading yourself. That's what separates dreamers from doers, not talent, but repetition. Every person who ever changed their life started with one small commitment. For some, it was reading one page. For others, walking 10 minutes. What matters isn't what you start with, it's that you start. Because the moment you act daily, your life stops being random and starts being intentional. And that's the secret Jim Rohn hinted at. The magic of daily discipline isn't in grand gestures, but in the quiet mastery of your routine, the invisible effort that shapes the visible success. Yet, there's more to it, something that determines whether these actions truly bear fruit, your attitude toward them. A person's attitude is the lens through which they see life. Two people can face the same storm. One curses the rain, the other plants seeds. The truth is, attitude shapes reality before effort does. When you choose optimism, your energy multiplies. When you dwell on problems, everything around you seems heavier than it really is. Jim Rohn used to say that you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. That's the essence of daily discipline, steering your thoughts when emotions want to drift away. Life will test your patience, humility, and resilience, but how you respond decides everything. A good attitude doesn't ignore pain. It transforms it into power. Gratitude is the fertilizer of a positive attitude. When you start noticing what's right instead of what's wrong, your mindset softens and expands. This shift fuels mindset growth because appreciation opens the door for better possibilities. Try writing down 3 things you're thankful for each morning, even simple ones, like having a bed or a friend who listens. A winning attitude isn't born, it's built. And it's built through self-improvement habits that train your brain to look for progress instead of perfection. When things go wrong, ask, "What is this teaching me?" rather than "Why me?" That single question rewires frustration into learning. Perspective is the quiet architect of wisdom. Sometimes, attitude is the only thing you can control. The economy can fail, friends can change, and opportunities can vanish. But you always choose how to show up. Maintaining purpose and gratitude in those moments turns adversity into advantage. People who stay calm under pressure are not luckier. They're just mentally stronger. Optimism isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about believing that something good can come from what's hard. That's the foundation of personal development, using challenges as stepping stones rather than walls. When others see endings, you see new beginnings. That's how leaders are forged. Notice how people with great energy attract opportunities. They smile more, complain less, and somehow always meet the right people. It's not coincidence, it's emotional gravity. Positivity pulls progress closer. The science is simple. Your attitude influences your tone, your words, and ultimately your results. Try this. For 1 week, stop complaining. Replace every complaint with a statement of responsibility. Instead of "My job is stressful," say, "I'm learning to manage pressure." That's mindset growth in action, training yourself to see life as a classroom instead of a courtroom. Transformation starts with your vocabulary. Attitude is contagious, whether positive or negative. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher. If you walk with those who constantly doubt, you'll inherit their fear. But if you keep company with dreamers, doers, and believers, you'll start expanding your limits naturally. Energy is transferred through connection. The best leaders lead with attitude before strategy. They inspire by how they carry themselves, not just by what they say. You can't motivate others if you walk around defeated. Every day, you're either spreading confidence or feeding doubt. Choose to be a source of strength for yourself and others. When life throws uncertainty, remember this. Attitude gives meaning to the mess. The same event can break one person and build another. The difference lies in interpretation. Daily discipline means choosing interpretation over reaction, focus over frustration, calm over chaos, again and again until it becomes instinct. If you ever feel stuck, move your body. Physical action resets mental attitude. Go for a walk, stretch, or breathe deeply for 5 minutes. Simple but powerful. This is how self-improvement habits restore clarity. Your physiology changes your psychology, reminding you that control begins inside you. An excellent attitude isn't about being cheerful 24/7. It's about returning to balance quickly. You'll still have bad days, but a disciplined mind recovers faster. That's the secret behind emotional maturity and steady mindset growth. The bounce-back speed defines your strength, not the absence of setbacks. So, the next time life challenges you, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What now?" That's the question of warriors, those who've learned that growth is hidden inside discomfort. The moment you shift from victimhood to ownership, you unlock your true personal development potential. Because attitude doesn't just influence outcomes, it creates them. And once your attitude matures into a weapon of resilience, it will naturally lead you to the next essential skill in building success, mastering the art of communication. Communication is not just about talking, it's about connecting. Many people speak to be heard, but few speak to be understood. The most powerful communicators listen more than they talk, because listening builds trust. This is part of daily discipline, learning to pause before replying, to understand before judging, and to speak with clarity instead of noise. Words are tools that can build or destroy bridges. A careless sentence can undo months of effort, while a single honest compliment can open doors forever. Those who master mindset growth understand that tone matters more than vocabulary. It's not what you say, but how you make people feel that defines your influence in every interaction. To communicate effectively, start by being present. Put your phone down, make eye contact, and show genuine interest. These small acts transform casual conversations into meaningful exchanges. Practicing self-improvement habits like active listening daily will make you memorable in a world that's always distracted. Think about it. When was the last time someone truly listened to you? That feeling of being heard is rare, and that's what makes it powerful. Become that kind of listener for others. This single habit accelerates personal development because empathy builds both confidence and connection at the same time. Great communicators never rush words. They understand that silence is part of the sentence. Pausing shows strength, not hesitation. It's a reflection of purpose and gratitude, respecting both your thoughts and the listener's time. Silence lets your words breathe, turning ordinary statements into moments of meaning. The best way to influence people isn't by talking louder, it's by speaking truthfully. Honesty delivered with kindness is unforgettable. People sense authenticity instantly. Make truth your brand, and watch how your world aligns. That's daily discipline expressed through integrity in communication, consistency between what you say and what you do. When conflict arises, don't aim to win the argument. Aim to win understanding. Ask questions like, "Help me see it from your side." This single approach softens walls and turns opposition into cooperation. That's emotional intelligence, a cornerstone of mindset growth and mature communication. Here's a simple rule. Never communicate when angry. Wait, breathe, and write down what you'd say. Then read it an hour later. You'll see how much calmer your response becomes. Emotional patience is one of the strongest self-improvement habits you can build, saving relationships and reputations over time. Storytelling is another powerful communication skill. People remember stories far longer than instructions. Use your own experiences, your failures, your comebacks, to connect deeply. That's how personal development inspires others, through transparency and relatability rather than perfection or ego. Your voice carries energy, and energy communicates before words do. When your tone radiates calm confidence, people trust you instantly. When it vibrates with gratitude, they feel safe around you. Embodying purpose and gratitude in your communication means letting kindness echo through every word you share. Practice expressing appreciation openly. Say thank you more often, compliment effort instead of only results, and acknowledge people sincerely. These habits might seem small, but they create massive emotional deposits. That's the invisible currency of influence in human connection, the art of everyday gratitude. The best communicators read the room as much as they read their notes. They adjust energy, pace, and tone according to who's listening. That flexibility shows emotional intelligence in action. It's what turns awkward exchanges into engaging conversations. Communication is both science and sensitivity working together. Remember, charisma isn't born, it's trained. You develop it through daily discipline, practicing posture, voice tone, and self-awareness. Speak from your chest, not your throat, from confidence, not fear. Over time, communication stops being performance and becomes presence. That's mastery. If you struggle to connect, start by simplifying. The greatest teachers make complex ideas sound simple. That's because their goal is clarity, not superiority. Clear communication accelerates mindset growth, allowing both speaker and listener to expand together through mutual understanding and respect. Eventually, you'll notice communication isn't only about talking, it's about alignment. When your words, actions, and energy match, people feel truth before logic. And once you learn to speak that language of authenticity, you'll unlock the next level of transformation, the bridge between goals and results, self-discipline. Self-discipline is the bridge between intention and reality. It's the invisible muscle that turns "I'll try" into "I did." Without it, dreams remain trapped in imagination. With it, they become inevitable. Every act of daily discipline you perform is a declaration that your goals matter more than your moods. Jim Rohn said discipline is the foundation upon which success is built. It's not punishment, it's protection. Protection from regret, from chaos, from inconsistency. Practicing discipline daily builds armor for your mind. That's how mindset growth begins, through the quiet repetition of decisions that move you forward even when no one is watching. Motivation fades, but discipline compounds. Anyone can act when they feel inspired. The real test is what you do when you don't. Those who practice self-improvement habits know that showing up, even imperfectly, beats waiting for perfect conditions. Consistency wins because it outlasts emotion every single time. Discipline starts with small promises. Wake up when the alarm rings. Finish the workout. Read before bed. Each fulfilled promise rewires your brain to trust yourself. This is personal development at its core, rebuilding confidence through action. When you do what you said you would, self-respect replaces self-doubt. Excuses are easy because they comfort you in the moment. Discipline is hard because it challenges your comfort. Yet every time you choose challenge over ease, your identity shifts. Purpose and gratitude thrive when you appreciate effort instead of outcome. Effort becomes sacred because it defines who you are becoming. Discipline isn't about control, it's about freedom. Freedom from laziness, fear, and delay. Imagine how light life feels when you no longer argue with yourself about what needs to be done. That peace is earned through daily discipline, the repetition of doing the right thing, especially when you don't feel like it. Create rituals that anchor your focus. Morning exercise, journaling, silence before screens. These are not chores, they are commitments to clarity. When you repeat them long enough, discipline becomes automatic. That's how mindset growth transforms struggle into stability. You no longer chase balance, you become it. The disciplined person is not superhuman. They are simply consistent. They fall, fail, and restart faster than others. Failure doesn't scare them because they see it as feedback. Self-improvement habits teach you that resilience is not avoidance of pain but mastery of recovery. Bounce-back speed defines strength. Procrastination is a thief disguised as comfort. It whispers later until later becomes never. Discipline silences that voice with action. Even a small step, writing one paragraph, making one call, breaks paralysis. That's personal development through movement, proving to yourself that progress is always possible. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common. relentless discipline. Not perfect days, but persistent effort. The athlete, the entrepreneur, the artist, all live by daily discipline disguised as habits. Behind every achievement lies 1,000 moments of silent persistence that no one applauded. When you discipline your focus, distractions lose power. You no longer chase every shiny object. Mindset growth gives you tunnel vision for what truly matters. Success then feels less like chaos and more like direction. The world respects the person who respects their own time. Discipline in emotion is as vital as discipline in action. Don't let temporary feelings dictate permanent decisions. Breathe before reacting. Reflect before speaking. This emotional control is one of the highest self-improvement habits, and it keeps relationships, reputations, and dreams intact. Reward yourself not for outcomes, but for consistency. Celebrate effort. This rewires your brain to enjoy the process rather than the finish line. That's purpose and gratitude in motion, finding joy in discipline itself. When you learn to love the process, success becomes inevitable. Discipline also means saying no. No to shortcuts, no to distractions, no to things that dilute your focus. Each no is a yes to something higher. This is personal development through subtraction, eliminating what weakens your purpose so your strength has space to grow. And one day, discipline stops feeling heavy. It becomes identity. You no longer push yourself. You simply act, because that's who you are now. That's the transformation discipline promises. Not just achieving goals, but becoming the kind of person who never quits on themselves again. Your mindset is the architect of your reality. Everything you believe about yourself silently shapes the limits of your actions. People who think small live small because they never question their own mental ceiling. Mindset growth begins the moment you stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" That single shift changes your entire direction. The mind works like a garden. It grows what you water. Negative thoughts are weeds. Discipline is the gardener. When you practice daily discipline of controlling your thoughts, you stop feeding fear and start feeding confidence. The result isn't instant, but over time, your self-talk becomes your greatest ally instead of your worst critic. Most people live inside stories they never chose. I'm not good enough. I'm too old. Or it's too late. These are not facts. They're repeated opinions. You can rewrite your script through self-improvement habits like journaling, reading uplifting books, and surrounding yourself with growth-minded people. What you repeat becomes your truth. Books like Think and Grow Rich or The Power of Now expand mental horizons. They challenge old beliefs and invite new perspectives. This is personal development at its core, opening your mind to ideas that disrupt comfort zones. Because when the mind expands, it never returns to its old size. Growth is irreversible. Your environment shapes your mindset more than you realize. If you constantly hear negativity, you start echoing it. Protect your inputs like treasures. Fill your surroundings with mentors, podcasts, and books that feed purpose and gratitude. The brain becomes what it consumes. Choose your mental diet wisely every single day. Mindset is like software. If it's outdated, your results will crash. Updating it requires conscious effort. Replace thoughts of limitation with curiosity. Instead of "this is hard," try "this is training me." That reframe is daily discipline of thinking stronger thoughts until resilience becomes automatic. Your words program your destiny. When failure comes, and it will, don't fear it. Failure is feedback, not finality. Every successful person has a graveyard of mistakes behind them, yet they kept moving forward. Mindset growth means collecting lessons instead of regrets. You either win or learn. Both outcomes move you closer to mastery. Visualization is a powerful tool for transformation. Picture your goals vividly every morning, like they already happened. The brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It just follows focus. Practicing this self-improvement habit daily rewires your mind for confidence, focus, and unwavering belief in your mission. The voice inside your head can be your coach or your critic. Train it to speak like a mentor, not an enemy. Every time you catch self-doubt, replace it with encouragement. Say, "I've handled worse," or "I'm improving daily." This small act of personal development builds mental armor stronger than any external motivation. Growth requires friction. Comfort kills potential. When life challenges you, see it as the gym for your soul. The harder the workout, the stronger you'll get mentally. That's how daily discipline and mindset intertwine. Discipline trains your actions. Mindset trains your reactions. Both build the version of you who can't be broken. If you want to transform your life, start by transforming your inner dialogue. Stop saying, "I'll try," and start saying, "I will." Language is powerful. It dictates identity. When you speak with certainty, your subconscious listens and aligns. This is how true mindset growth becomes visible in your confidence and decisions. Belief is not blind faith, it's earned faith. Every time you follow through on a promise, you strengthen the bridge between effort and expectation. Over time, you stop hoping and start knowing. That's what mastery feels like. Conviction built on consistency, reinforced by self-improvement habits and daily self-respect. To reprogram your mind, mix gratitude with challenge. Each night, write one hard thing you faced and one blessing you received. This balance cultivates purpose and gratitude, showing your brain that both pain and progress can coexist. Growth doesn't require perfection, only awareness and adjustment. Mindset isn't about avoiding fear, it's about walking with it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's forward motion despite fear. When you act with daily discipline, you teach your mind that it can trust you, no matter how uncertain the path. That trust becomes your greatest power. And here lies the truth. Once you challenge your limiting beliefs, life expands. You begin to see potential where others see pressure. Yet there's something even more crucial to master next. Not just controlling your mind, but managing your most precious resource, time itself. Time is the currency of life, and everyone gets the same 24 hours. The difference between success and struggle isn't time itself, but how it's used. Daily discipline in managing hours determines how far you go. You can't control the clock, but you can control your calendar. What you schedule becomes real. What you don't fades away. Most people are busy, not productive. They fill their days with motion, not progress. That's where mindset growth comes in. Learning to say no to noise and yes to what matters. Productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing what moves you closer to purpose. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication in time mastery. Start each morning with clarity, not chaos. Write down your top 3 priorities before touching your phone. This small act of self-improvement habits rewires your brain for focus. When you start your day intentionally, distractions lose their power. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. Procrastination is the silent killer of dreams. It whispers, later, until later becomes never. The cure is motion and emotion. Even a 5-minute action breaks inertia. This practice of moving first, thinking later, is a form of personal development that trains you to lead your mind instead of obeying hesitation. To master time, you must master attention. Every notification steals energy. Every interruption costs momentum. Guard your focus like treasure. Practicing purpose and gratitude means valuing your time as sacred, because it is. How you spend your minutes reveals how you'll spend your life. Think of your day in seasons, not hours. Morning is for creation, afternoon for execution, and evening for reflection. This rhythm respects energy instead of fighting it. Aligning work with your natural peaks of focus is how daily discipline transforms effort into efficiency without burning you out. Multitasking is a myth. It's just rapid distraction. Your brain performs best in single-focus mode. Doing one thing with full attention beats doing 5 things halfway. This truth supports mindset growth, teaching you that quality always outweighs quantity. Busyness feeds ego, focus feeds results. Plan your rest as seriously as your work. Without recovery, discipline turns into depletion. Taking breaks, walking outside, and sleeping well are not weaknesses, they're power moves. They sustain self-improvement habits long-term. Consistency without rest is just controlled collapse, disguised as productivity. Learn to time block your day. Assign specific hours for deep work, meetings, exercise, and reflection. Treat these blocks as non-negotiable appointments with your future self. This structure reflects personal development through respect for your goals, your craft, and your own mental energy. Every minute spent planning saves hours of execution. Most failures come from poor preparation, not lack of talent. Each night, review what worked and what didn't. This ritual of reflection strengthens purpose and gratitude, helping you end the day with clarity instead of chaos. Reflection is direction in disguise. Be mindful of time thieves, gossip, negativity, pointless scrolling. They drain not only minutes, but motivation. Protect your environment as fiercely as your schedule. Daily discipline includes saying no to people and habits that distract you from peace and progress. Time is life. Spend it wisely. Use technology as a servant, not a master. Turn off notifications, set timers, and track screen time. Your phone can be a tool or a trap depending on how you train it. That's mindset growth in action. Digital discipline that restores mental clarity and strengthens emotional balance. Reward yourself for showing up on time. Celebrate consistency and structure, not just results. Building self-improvement habits around punctuality teaches reliability. When you honor your own word, you train the world to honor you too. Time management is self-respect measured in minutes. Understand this. No one finds time. They make it. People who claim to be too busy are usually just unfocused. Creating order out of chaos is personal development through intentional living. When your hours align with your goals, even ordinary days become extraordinary. Time management isn't just about efficiency. It's about meaning. The goal isn't to fit more tasks into the day, but to fit more life into your time. When you merge purpose and gratitude with discipline, every hour feels lighter. Every task feels sacred. That's when you stop counting hours and start making hours count. Knowledge is the one investment that never loses value. You can lose money, status, or comfort, but what you learn stays with you forever. Lifelong learning is a commitment to never stop evolving. Practicing daily discipline through reading, observation, and curiosity keeps your mind sharp when others grow stagnant. The more you learn, the more capable you become. Jim Rohn said, "Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune." That's the essence of mindset growth. Realizing school is only the beginning. True education happens when you start learning by choice, not by requirement. Each book, podcast, or experience becomes a teacher waiting to upgrade your potential. Reading 15 minutes a day might not sound like much, but it's a lifetime advantage. Over a year, that's nearly 20 books. Imagine how different your thinking becomes when your mind is constantly fed with fresh ideas. That's how self-improvement habits compound, through small, consistent doses of wisdom applied daily. Don't just read for information, read for transformation. Highlight what moves you. Reflect on it. Apply one principle each week. That's how personal development turns theory into action. A single concept, when lived out daily, can change the entire trajectory of your mindset, your career, and your confidence. Be selective with what you consume. Just like food, mental junk creates mental fatigue. Feed your brain with timeless wisdom. Authors like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Napoleon Hill, or Viktor Frankl. Their lessons build purpose and gratitude, reminding you that growth begins with humility, accepting that you'll always be a student. Learning never stops because life never stops teaching. Every failure, mistake, and conversation is a hidden classroom. When you approach challenges with curiosity instead of frustration, you gain wisdom instead of wounds. That's daily discipline of reflection, turning every experience into education. Curiosity is a superpower. The moment you stop asking questions, you start aging mentally. Curiosity keeps you young, adaptable, and creative. That's mindset growth in its purest form, refusing to settle for what you already know. A curious person never runs out of opportunities, because they're always exploring. Learning from others shortens your path to success. Mentorship is knowledge accelerated. Find people who already walked your path and learn from their scars. That's how self-improvement habits save you from unnecessary mistakes, by borrowing the wisdom of those who've paid the price for it already. But remember, wisdom isn't memorized, it's embodied. You can read 100 books about discipline and still fail if you never practice it. That's why personal development demands balance. learning, applying, failing, and refining. The loop never ends, but with each cycle, you become wiser and calmer. The ego hates learning because learning admits ignorance. But humility opens the gates to greatness. The wisest people in history weren't those who knew it all. They were those who kept asking, "What else can I learn?" That's purpose and gratitude through humility, appreciating how much there is left to discover. Technology has made learning faster, but also more superficial. Don't just scroll, study. Don't just listen, absorb. Schedule time for deep learning sessions. This is daily discipline of mental fitness, keeping your brain resilient in a world addicted to distraction. Shallow focus creates shallow growth. Deep study creates depth of wisdom. Take notes on everything you learn. Writing ingrains memory and creates reference for reflection. Journaling lessons each week is one of the most underrated mindset growth practices. It's not just what you learn, but how often you revisit it that solidifies mastery. Review your notes like a treasure map to your evolution. Investing in education always pays the highest interest. Buy books instead of gadgets. Attend seminars instead of parties. Choose environments that stretch your thinking. Those who practice self-improvement habits around learning never fall behind, because they're always adapting, upgrading, and outgrowing old versions of themselves. Lifelong learning doesn't mean constant studying. It means constant awareness. It means observing life itself like a teacher. When you treat each day as a lesson, even ordinary moments turn extraordinary. That's personal development as a way of being, not a checklist. Awareness itself becomes your greatest mentor. And the more you learn, the more you realize how much there is left to learn. This realization doesn't discourage you, it humbles you. That humility deepens purpose and gratitude, turning education into enlightenment. Because knowledge isn't just about power, it's about perspective and the wisdom to use it well. Money is a mirror. It reflects your habits, not your worth. Most people don't have a money problem. They have a discipline problem. Managing your finances requires daily discipline, not luck. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the kind of life you're building. If you don't control your money will control you. Wealth doesn't come from how much you make, but how much you manage. Jim Rohn said, "Don't buy luxuries until you've built the income to sustain them." That mindset shift is part of mindset growth, learning patience in a world obsessed with instant gratification. True financial freedom is built in silence, not in show. Track your expenses for 30 days. It sounds simple, but awareness is everything. When you know where your money goes, you regain control. That's one of the most powerful self-improvement habits, facing your numbers without fear. Because what you measure, you can manage. And what you manage, you can multiply. Budgeting is not restriction, it's redirection. A budget is freedom disguised as structure. It ensures your resources serve your goals instead of your impulses. That's personal development in practice, aligning financial behavior with long-term purpose. You can't build abundance with chaotic spending. Practice gratitude for what you already have. Purpose and gratitude create contentment, and contentment stops the cycle of endless consumption. When you feel enough, you spend less. When you spend less, you invest more. Gratitude is the gatekeeper of wealth, teaching you that happiness can't be bought, only managed. Save before you spend, not after. Treat savings as a bill you owe to your future self. Automate it so it becomes effortless. This is daily discipline that compounds silently into financial independence. Every small contribution today becomes leverage tomorrow, thanks to the quiet magic of compound growth. Avoid debt that doesn't build value. If it doesn't increase your income, skill, or peace, it's not worth it. That's mindset growth through financial awareness, learning the difference between good debt, investment, and bad debt impulse. Delayed gratification is the price of future freedom. Learn the basics of investing. You don't need to be an expert, just consistent. Index funds, real estate, or skill-based reinvestment all compound over time. Building self-improvement habits around financial literacy turns anxiety into confidence. Money grows when you treat it as a partner, not a mystery. Your income grows at the same rate as your self-development. You can't out-earn your mindset. That's why personal development always precedes prosperity. The more valuable you become, the more value you attract. Money follows growth, always. Detach emotion from spending. Don't buy to impress, buy to express alignment with who you are. That's maturity. Practicing purpose and gratitude means recognizing that your worth isn't tied to possessions. Simplicity often feels like luxury when peace replaces pressure. Financial order is emotional order. If your finances are chaotic, look at your habits. Discipline in money mirrors discipline in thought. Daily discipline through consistency, even in small decisions, becomes the foundation of stability, confidence, and peace of mind. Avoid comparing your finances to others. You only see their highlights, not their debts. Comparison breeds resentment, while focus breeds results. Practicing mindset growth means measuring your progress only against your past self. Wealth is personal. Comparison is poison. Learn to give, even when it's uncomfortable. Generosity isn't subtraction, it's multiplication. The act of giving rewires your brain for abundance. Self-improvement habits that include contribution keep ego in check and remind you that real wealth is measured by impact, not accumulation. Treat money like a relationship. Respect it, understand it, and communicate with it often. Neglect leads to distance. Awareness builds intimacy. That's personal development through stewardship, managing blessings with wisdom so they multiply instead of vanish. And remember, wealth isn't a finish line. It's a reflection of discipline practiced daily. When you mix purpose and gratitude with smart choices, money stops being stress and becomes stability. Because in the end, mastering money isn't about riches, it's about freedom, the power to live on your own terms. Personal development is the art of becoming your best self on purpose. It's not about perfection, but about progress. You evolve when you consciously choose growth over comfort. Practicing daily discipline in small, intentional actions turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones. The goal isn't to change overnight. It's to improve consistently. Growth starts the moment you stop blaming and start building. When you take responsibility for your emotions, time, and results, life becomes lighter. That's the foundation of mindset growth. Realizing that ownership creates empowerment. You can't control the world, but you can always control your response to it. Improvement requires reflection. Spend 10 minutes each night reviewing your day. What went well? What didn't? What can be refined? That simple self-improvement habit multiplies awareness and clarity. Because what you reflect on, you refine. Growth doesn't happen by chance. It happens by conscious correction. Most people chase motivation. Few build momentum. Motivation fades like fuel, but momentum compounds like interest. Personal development thrives on consistency, not intensity. When you act even on uninspired days, you teach your brain discipline, and that's where real transformation begins. Celebrate small wins. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're reinforcing your new identity. Practicing purpose and gratitude keeps growth joyful instead of exhausting. When you appreciate effort instead of only results, the journey becomes its own reward. Gratitude sustains what motivation can't. You grow faster when you face discomfort. Avoiding struggle delays progress. Leaning into challenge expands capacity. That's daily discipline of courage, doing what's right, not what's easy. Every act of bravery adds a layer of strength to your character, preparing you for the bigger stages of life. Read, learn, and listen daily. Feed your mind with ideas that stretch your thinking. That's mindset growth through curiosity. Don't just consume, apply. Take one insight and act on it immediately. Knowledge without application is entertainment. Applied knowledge is evolution. Replace comparison with inspiration. Other success should motivate you, not intimidate you. Build self-improvement habits that celebrate your timeline. Remember, flowers don't bloom by competing. They bloom by staying rooted. Your path is personal. Stay focused on your soil. Personal growth also means emotional maturity. Learn to respond, not react. When you master your emotions, you master your energy. That's deep personal development, emotional intelligence guiding action. Calmness is power. Composure is confidence in silence. Invest in experiences that stretch you. Travel, public speaking, volunteering. Anything that challenges fear builds character. Purpose and gratitude expand when you serve beyond yourself. Growth accelerates when your actions impact others positively. Contribution is the ultimate form of learning. Be coachable. Accept feedback without ego. Criticism doesn't destroy growth, it directs it. That's the daily discipline of humility. Choosing learning over pride. Every wise person was once a great listener who treated advice as gold. Pride blocks progress. Humility multiplies it. Create an environment that supports your goals. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your potential, not your past. Mindset growth thrives in community, where encouragement replaces envy and accountability replaces excuses. You rise faster when you walk with those who climb. Progress demands boundaries. Protect your energy from drama, gossip, and negativity. Build self-improvement habits around focus and solitude. Quiet time isn't isolation, it's recalibration. Every minute spent in self-reflection strengthens your ability to lead yourself and others. Personal development is a lifelong process, not a one-time event. You don't graduate from growth. You simply evolve into new versions of yourself. That's personal development at its core. Constant reinvention guided by purpose, fueled by persistence, and grounded in gratitude. And here's the truth. Growth has no finish line. Once you learn to enjoy the climb more than the peak, you'll never stop evolving. And that evolution will naturally lead you toward discovering something even greater, your life's purpose. Purpose is the compass that gives direction to effort. Without it, even hard work feels empty. People chase success without knowing why, and end up tired but unfulfilled. Living intentionally means aligning your actions with meaning. That's personal development, transforming routine into purpose-driven motion, where each choice serves a deeper mission. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you build. It's sculpted through curiosity, service, and experience. You discover it by following what energizes you and paying attention to what breaks your heart. That's how mindset growth begins, by connecting passion to contribution, turning pain into direction and energy into legacy. Without purpose, discipline becomes punishment. With purpose, it becomes power. When your why is clear, your how becomes easy. Every act of daily discipline transforms into devotion. You no longer need external motivation because meaning itself becomes your engine. That's when persistence feels natural instead of forced. Ask yourself often, what do I want my life to stand for? This question humbles the ego and clarifies priorities. Purpose doesn't need to be grand. It just needs to be honest. Even showing kindness daily can fulfill your purpose and gratitude if done with genuine intention and presence in every interaction. People often confuse goals with purpose. Goals are destinations. Purpose is direction. You can reach goals and still feel lost if they aren't rooted in meaning. Self-improvement habits only stick when they serve a bigger reason. When purpose fuels habits, consistency becomes effortless and joy replaces pressure. Purpose matures with experience. What inspired you 5 years ago might not fit who you are today. Revisit and refine it often. That's mindset growth through reflection, realizing that evolving purpose isn't inconsistency. It's wisdom. Growth changes direction, but it never abandons truth. Your purpose evolves as you do. Serving others amplifies your purpose. The more value you create, the more fulfilled you feel. Helping one person might seem small, but it ripples outward in ways unseen. That's personal development beyond self, transforming ambition into contribution. True success isn't measured by possessions, but by impact. When life feels unclear, act in alignment with values, not emotions. Emotions fluctuate, but values anchor you. Practicing daily discipline in value-based decision-making turns confusion into clarity. Over time, those small aligned actions reveal purpose naturally, like pieces of a puzzle slowly forming the big picture. Gratitude deepens purpose. When you appreciate what you already have, your energy shifts from chasing to creating. Purpose and gratitude together turn survival into fulfillment. You start living not just to achieve, but to express, to turn your gifts into something that makes life brighter for others too. Purpose doesn't eliminate struggle, it gives struggle meaning. The same obstacle that breaks others becomes fuel for those who know why they fight. This is the strength of self-improvement habits, practiced with conviction, turning discipline into devotion and perseverance into peace, one challenge at a time. Alignment creates peace. When your actions match your beliefs, internal conflict disappears. You no longer need to pretend or justify. You simply live truthfully. That's daily discipline and authenticity, showing up as the same person privately and publicly, guided by principles instead of pressure. Sometimes, your purpose isn't about what you gain, but what you give up. Letting go of distractions, toxic habits, or empty pursuits is part of the path. Mindset growth often begins with subtraction, making space for what truly matters. Freedom isn't having everything, it's needing less. Purpose is magnetic. When you live with intention, opportunities start aligning with your values. People sense clarity and are drawn to it. This is personal development in motion. Your energy silently communicating who you are before you even speak. Clarity attracts what confusion repels. Every day is a chance to live deliberately. Wake up with direction, not reaction. Reflect on your intentions before diving into tasks. Practicing self-improvement habits like journaling your goals or visualizing outcomes keeps your actions aligned. A life lived on purpose turns ordinary days into meaningful stories. And once you discover and live by your purpose, you realize there's one ingredient that multiplies everything: gratitude. Because purpose gives direction, but gratitude gives depth. And together, they unlock the final secret to abundance, peace, and fulfillment that no external success can replace. Gratitude is the quiet superpower that turns ordinary moments into miracles. It doesn't just make you happier, it rewires your brain to notice abundance instead of lack. When practiced with daily discipline, gratitude transforms stress into serenity and impatience into peace. It's not denial of hardship, but mastery of perspective through awareness. The human mind naturally looks for problems to solve. Gratitude redirects it toward blessings to protect. Each day offers both pain and beauty, and what you focus on multiplies. Practicing self-improvement habits, like journaling 3 things you're thankful for each morning, trains your subconscious to seek light even in darkness. People often wait for happiness to feel grateful, but the truth is reversed. Gratitude creates happiness. The richest person isn't the one who has the most, but the one who appreciates the most. Mindset growth begins when you realize that appreciation expands everything it touches. Gratitude is the gateway to emotional wealth. Gratitude grounds ambition. It keeps you driven but humble, successful but centered. Without it, achievement becomes a race without a finish line. Purpose and gratitude together remind you that growth isn't just about reaching higher, but about honoring the path already walked. Gratitude gives success a soul and ambition a heart. Even challenges deserve gratitude. They shape character, build patience, and reveal strength. Thanking life for its tests doesn't mean enjoying them. It means trusting their purpose. This attitude reflects mature personal development, where pain becomes teacher and resilience becomes reward. Gratitude turns adversity into advantage. One of the greatest ways to practice gratitude is through service. Helping others shifts focus from what you lack to what you can give. When you offer your time, attention, or kindness, your energy multiplies. This act of giving deepens daily discipline and reinforces compassion as a guiding force in your daily life. Gratitude is contagious. When you express it, others feel valued and inspired to mirror it back. That's the ripple effect of emotional abundance. Self-improvement habits like thanking your coworkers, complimenting effort, or expressing appreciation at home can transform relationships more than any motivational speech could. Sometimes gratitude is quiet, a breath of appreciation after a long day, a smile for small comforts. Those moments recalibrate your nervous system. Gratitude isn't loud or flashy, it's healing. Mindset growth through gratitude teaches that peace isn't found in possessions, but in presence. The now becomes enough. Even in solitude, gratitude keeps you company. When no one sees your effort, being thankful for your own perseverance fuels self-respect. This inner acknowledgement strengthens identity. Personal development thrives on that balance, the ability to honor your progress without external applause, through silent appreciation of effort. Write gratitude letters to those who've impacted your life. Mentors, friends, even people who hurt you. Forgiveness and gratitude share the same roots. This practice cultivates purpose and gratitude, releasing emotional weight and making space for lighter energy. Gratitude heals the heart faster than time alone can. Gratitude enhances focus. When you appreciate progress, you stop chasing perfection. You learn to value the journey, not just the destination. That mental shift is a result of daily discipline, redirecting your attention from what's missing to what's already working. Gratitude is focus made spiritual. Science confirms it too. Gratitude boosts serotonin, improves sleep, and strengthens immunity. It's not just emotional, it's biological empowerment. Practicing self-improvement habits like nightly gratitude reflections or mindful breathing before bed trains the body and mind to rest in abundance rather than anxiety. Gratitude doesn't make life easier, it makes it lighter. Problems still exist, but their weight changes. You start responding with patience, not panic. That's how mindset growth feels in action: steady, grounded, and peaceful, no matter the external noise or temporary turbulence life brings. Each morning you wake up, gratitude whispers, you still have a chance. A chance to improve, to love, to serve, to build. Personal development fueled by gratitude becomes joyful discipline, not duty but devotion to life itself. Gratitude is the art of noticing miracles while creating them. And once gratitude becomes a habit, you no longer chase abundance, you attract it. Life mirrors your appreciation with more reasons to be thankful. Yet, gratitude is not the end of this journey. It's the foundation of all transformation, the bridge that connects everything we've learned into one powerful truth about life itself. Life doesn't change in a single decision. It transforms through repetition. The person you become is the result of small choices practiced daily. Daily discipline is the brush that paints your destiny. Each stroke, each habit, each intention shaping the bigger picture of who you are. Success is built quietly, one routine at a time. Greatness isn't found in massive leaps, but in consistent steps forward. It's built in mornings when you rise early, in moments when you resist distraction, in times when no one claps, but you still keep going. Those invisible victories define personal development, proving that ordinary actions done with purpose create extraordinary results. Every habit you repeat rewires your brain. What feels difficult today becomes automatic tomorrow. That's how self-improvement habits work, by turning discipline into instinct. Over time, success stops being something you chase and becomes something you naturally embody. Consistency is evolution disguised as routine. Gratitude turns this journey from burden to blessing. When you approach effort with appreciation, even challenges feel lighter. Purpose and gratitude together create balance. One pushes you forward, the other keeps you grounded. A grateful heart transforms discipline from obligation into devotion, fueling endurance with peace. Your mindset is the master key. Thoughts sculpt actions, and actions build identity. Practicing mindset growth daily ensures your inner world is stronger than any external circumstance. A resilient mind doesn't avoid storms, it dances in the rain, knowing every drop nourishes its strength. Growth begins where comfort ends. Life rewards awareness more than ambition. Many chase results while few reflect on direction. Daily discipline includes slowing down, analyzing choices, and adjusting course with intention. Reflection is power. It turns experience into education and mistakes into momentum. Awareness multiplies results without requiring speed. Discipline without purpose becomes burnout. Purpose without discipline becomes fantasy. The fusion of both creates fulfillment. When your why fuels your how, your habits stop being chores and start becoming expressions of meaning. That balance is the essence of true personal development, where effort feels aligned and authentic. Progress is personal, comparison is poison. Others' timelines have nothing to do with your journey. Each person's path unfolds at its own rhythm. Practicing self-improvement habits means respecting your season, planting when it's time to plant, resting when it's time to restore. Patience is also a form of discipline. Small wins compound faster than you think. Reading one page, saving $1, or saying one kind word daily creates exponential change over time. That's mindset growth through repetition, proving that consistent action beats occasional intensity. Tiny progress is still progress, and progress creates pride. Success is internal long before it's visible. The confidence you feel, the peace you build, the resilience you strengthen, these are invisible trophies. Daily discipline carves them quietly while the world isn't watching. By the time recognition comes, your foundation is already unshakable because self-trust came first. Gratitude keeps ambition human. It reminds you that progress isn't about arriving, but about evolving. Purpose and gratitude in harmony teach humility, knowing you can grow without losing peace, achieve without losing grace. True abundance isn't what you have. It's who you've become in the process. Growth doesn't have a finish line. When you live with intention, each day becomes both a lesson and a reward. That's personal development as a lifestyle, not a phase. You stop surviving days and start sculpting them, one disciplined, grateful, purpose-driven moment at a time. Life becomes art through awareness. Failure is never the opposite of success. It's the workshop of success. Every misstep strengthens wisdom, and wisdom refines discipline. This truth anchors mindset growth, teaching that falling is part of rising, that progress is imperfect by design. The comeback always teaches more than the victory ever could. Discipline builds the path. Gratitude lights it. Together, they lead to peace, freedom, and self-respect, the real measures of wealth. Self-improvement habits sustain that peace by aligning your behavior with your beliefs. When values lead, success follows effortlessly. That's the silent formula of lasting fulfillment. And so, the message is simple but timeless. Your life is sculpted by what you practice, not what you promise. Build yourself daily. Think deeply, act intentionally, love with gratitude, and stay disciplined with purpose. Because transformation isn't magic, it's consistency guided by meaning. That's the bridge between who you are and who you're destined to become. You've just learned the principles that separate the ordinary from the unstoppable. But knowledge means nothing without action. Daily discipline is the bridge between what you know and what you become. The question now is simple. Will you listen to this once and forget it? Or will you live it every single day? Most people wait for the right time to start. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment, only a disciplined one. Start today. Apply one principle. Maybe it's gratitude, maybe it's consistency, maybe it's focus. Small steps repeated daily create massive transformation. That's how real mindset growth begins. Remember, a powerful mind isn't built by accident. It's crafted with intention. Self-improvement habits like reading, reflecting, and staying accountable are what separate dreamers from doers. Don't let this video be another dose of inspiration that fades tomorrow. Let it become the blueprint for your evolution. Ask yourself, what's one habit you'll commit to mastering starting today? What's one thought you'll replace with a stronger one? Your life will change the moment your discipline becomes louder than your doubts. That's where personal development becomes transformation, when theory turns into action. If this message spoke to you, then keep walking this path with us. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and stay connected. Because every week, we'll go deeper, building discipline, mastering the mind, and living with purpose and gratitude. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins now.